Everybody overcomplicates making jerky or dehydrating anything for that matter. So I'm gonna show you how simple it is and why everyone should do it, because it is so freaking simple. So here we go. We'll dive right into it. And here are some super simple ways to make the easiest dehydrated jerky, crisps, apples, fruits, all of the things, super simple. Let's go. All right, so what we're gonna do today is make some jerky. I made some apple crisps for my kids last night. They love them, so I have to make more of them because they're demanding more of them. I also made some banana, they like that. And then of course, I'm gonna do some broccoli because that I'm not gonna do. No, forget about the broccoli. No broccoli. Broccoli does not go in a dehydrator. You do what you want, kale crisps, but I'm gonna pretty much stay with the sweet and the savory as two of my favorite things. And it's so easy, even Tim can do it. That should be a shirt. Like, I can do it, so you can absolutely do it. There's so many different ways to do this, but everybody, I think the barrier of entry is, what are my options? The options are limitless. The options are your palate. The options are like, what do I wanna do? What do I like? And then you can just do it. It's that easy, and I'm gonna show you how. I've already kind of prepped some stuff. We could go back in time and talk about why there's a marinade full of delicious meats here. And pretty much, you have a little spectrum. You have super duper lean meats like elk, which I have in here, rounds, London broils, those on the very low fat side. Then obviously as you kind of get up into like the caps of a ribeye, which are the fattier portions, or wagyus, those aren't ideal for making your fantastic jerky. If you stay down on the leaner end, I think maybe the fattiest you could get would be something like this, a strip. Everything else needs to be super lean because we're gonna leave it in here for like 10, 12 hours. Depends on how tough or crispy or kind of juicy, or more like the biltong, the South African approach to jerky. But on that fatty to leaner meats, we wanna pick our meats down on the leaner side. That's also great because those are really inexpensive meats. And if you're kind of weirded out by the flavor or sometimes texture, occasionally the smell of game meat, if I don't like whitetail, dude, then you pull out the dehydrator because you can put in some teriyaki sauce, some soy sauce, a little brown sugar, maybe some honey, some onion powder, some garlic powder, some lime, and some ginger. That's it, you're good to go. There's nothing left in it besides just the deliciousness of your flavor and the protein that is still part of the meat. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and dive into what I have prepared for us. So on the spectrum of super lean to some fat intermuscularly, this is on the fattiest end of that spectrum. When you look at this meat right here, clearly there's not a lot of fat intermuscularly in a London broil or an elk. So on this, which is just a strip, we're gonna carve some of this fat out, and you're like, but that's the good stuff, that's the flavor. I get it, but for the jerky, we don't need it. I know this is also kind of wasteful. I feel really bad doing this, but we're gonna do it because we're all learning together. Okay, nice thin strips. If you square everything up, get everything nice and even, make sure you get your knife sharp before you do it, and then, okay, that was too thin. That was paper thin. Like you can see the light through that. That was my first one. Now I'll start getting into here. There you go. That's great thickness. Okay, so we have our good jerky length strips that are cut thin. Once you kind of have that nice and set up, now we make our marinade, throw the meat in there, and let it sit. It's pretty straightforward. We're doing like this teriyaki, soy sauce, garlic flavor. We're gonna err on the slightly sweeter. So soy sauce, teriyaki, brown sugar, garlic powder, and Worcestershire sauce. That's if you hear little baby sounds, my kitchen studio is actually my kitchen, and my little girl is back there eating a muffin. Is that muffin good? Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is the easiest part in the world. So I'm gonna do a half cup of soy sauce, quarter cup of teriyaki sauce. All right, you wanna pour that in there for me? Spectacular.
Can you do the next one?
Can you do the next one? 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Got it? Okay. Splendid job. And yes, we could absolutely measure, but you don't have to. You can just like scoop in and throw it in there. But we're gonna throw in 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. Yeah. You scoop those in there. It's just this. 1. We're gonna do 4 of those.
A big one?
Yeah. 2. Scoop it in here. There you go, you dump it. You dump it. Okay. And got it. Splendid, splendid, fantastic work there. So for garlic, we're going to use 4 teaspoons. And in this case, it's a little toddler spoon, but it's supposed to be 4 teaspoons. And then a big pinch of salt, which would be like, yeah, 1 more. Ooh, perfect. Okay, give me a half a scoop of that. This is Himalayan and sea salt. Ooh, splendid. You have a fine eye for proportions. Sure, you want to throw some just plain old garlic in there?
Do you want to?
Do you want to?
Do you?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can start mixing it.
I mix it with that.
I'm gonna throw some of these in there.
You want to mix it?
Yeah, but you did a great job mixing. Squeeze. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Oh, nice, Torin.
Ooh, what is that? Smushed it.
You gonna smell it? Is that strong? So what we're doing here, I had an extra garlic. So we added 3 chunks from the clove into here. And now, this amount is kind of good for, you know, a half a pound. Maybe, you gonna mix it? And obviously you can increase that for the amount of meat that you have. You wanna have the majority of the meat kind of sitting exposed into the marinade with as much of the flesh of the meat sitting out as possible. Oh, don't wipe it on your jacket. I saw you. Okay, so our marinade is made. I made this last night. We're 18 hours into that sitting there. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna drop this into the marinade. And these bad boys are gonna be absolutely engulfed in it.
But wait, put this after we make it.
We're gonna put a top on it and put it in the refrigerator. So then the meat can suck up all of those juices and all of that sugar and all of that salt. And like if you're healthy, conscientious, and you care about like what your family's eating, what you're eating, so you get to pick what goes in there to ensure that there's just not some wacky crap that's being thrown in there by somebody that only cares about profit and bottom line and an addictive flavor. In this case, we get to do what we want to our food with our ingredients. So what we have here, yeah, you can open it, is the Denali Beast. I bought this. This was not sent to me. I get stuff sent to me. I have people that like try to pay for stuff. Ultimately, like I just want to use good stuff that makes sense for my family, for my lifestyle, with the best equipment that really increases the quality of my life. That's it. So for the Denali Beast, I went on like Grok and I said, hey, make a list of the best dehydrators that are large but good for use at home. And then I went on Amazon, I like read reviews. And so like by no means am I promoting this in any way, shape or form. This is the second time that I've used it, last night being the first when I made the apple crisps. Did you like those apple chips? Did you and your brother like argue over who got more of them this morning? Yeah, so I'll fix that because I'll make, obviously I have a whole bunch of apples right there. I'm gonna make them. Did you like the banana chips? Not really, kind of, a lot, a little?
Well, I liked it a lot, but I didn't like it well. We had to do it like here because I can't do it from like that because.
Oh yeah, the texture of the banana chips was a little thick.
Yeah, so then, well, I can't eat them because this tooth is right next to this tooth. So then that's why I can't eat with this tooth.
Yep.
So then this tooth is actually coming in.
Oh, that makes sense. So what we're gonna do is that marinade, this sat for 14 hours. Like I can think minimum is maybe 10 to 12 hours. You let it sit. This one has been sitting. Now you're gonna dehydrate it to the consistency that you want. Don't overcomplicate this. It's gonna take somewhere between 6 and 10 hours. So this is pretty simple. I got 2 buttons here, up and down, and then this one button changes between timer and temperature. Like that's it. I got an inside oven light. So we are going to increase, let's try and close this thing. We're gonna go for 167 degrees for a total of 8 hours to see how this bad boy brings our texture and consistency. 167, time. Eight hours. Well, just you know. But I'm gonna do it for 8 hours. I'm gonna set a timer. And this thing's heating up. I'm gonna lay out one tray at a time, and then I'm gonna annotate because I am gonna throw some red pepper. Do you want hot red pepper on your jerky? Definitely not. She doesn't. She doesn't want spicy. So the spiciest ones will go down at the bottom. I know you don't like spicy. That's so you can say you don't like spicy. It's totally fine. So for me, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, did I miss that? How many trays are here, Torin? Will you count for me? 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8. So we've got 8 trays. Spiciest is gonna be here. Least spicy is gonna be up at the top. And we're just gonna start laying this meat out. You ready? Okay, tray number 1. Okay, real talk. It took a matter of minutes. The thing that took the longest was slicing the meat. And I have like the razor blade, sharpest knives on the planet. And that was just to make sure that I got it super thin. You can do whatever you want. I'm gonna be using this a ton. I'm gonna probably try a few different ones, but this was the first one, and this was like, like the industrial model for like residential use, whatever that meant. They caught me with all the trigger sales words. Ultimately, this is gonna sit here for 5 hours or for 8 hours, and then you're gonna have delicious jerky with your own flavors and with your own ingredients. You knew what went into it. And in this case, like I saw one of these animals, I ushered it very kindly and humanely into death, cleaned it, processed it. Now we're gonna be making jerky with it and feeding my family with it with these ingredients. It's just like, this is the way that's supposed to be. Like, this is the way. This is so sick. So I will show you some photos of the final version. And the person I'm gonna have to fight for this food is gonna be my 9-year-old, because that dude is gonna eat all of it. He loves jerky, and I know he's gonna love this stuff. Anyway, stay safe, stay free, make delicious food, take care of your family, and have fun doing it. So this is gonna be so good. Oh, hey, you're good at that.